Whenever I sang my songs on the stage on my own, whenever I said my words, wishing they would be heard, I saw you smiling at me. Was it real or just my fantasy? You'd always be there in the corner of this tiny little bar.
Hello and welcome to Cover by Cover. I'm Clef Knightley.
And I'm Juice Johnson.
Today it's time
Shut up!
What?
Yeah, that's right. It's time for you to shut up. It's my turn to do the introduction for once.
Oh. Alright, go ahead.
Thank you. This week we have a smooth, savory treat from the director of Sengoku Basara and Chrome Shell Regios.
Hey, wait a minute. When are we actually going to review Chrome Shell Regios? We were supposed to do it in season 1, then season 2.
No.
It's been the shop for... It's been the shop.
You're taking away my thunder.
Fine.
Now, it's time for the smooth soul of jazz to come rip-roaring back. Ladies and gentlemen, LR, licensed by royalty. But before we can actually get into the show itself, I wanted to take a special aside to talk about something near and dear to me. The music of anime. Like it or not, music plays a tremendous part in the shows we all love. The most instantly noticeable role this plays is in the openings and closings of each and every episode. And some are so bad that we cringe and consider harming ourselves or others. However, the music that plays during a series is arguably even more important. And similar to the openings and closings, sometimes the music is gripping and provocative, and sometimes it seems like the sound director is having a seizure mid-chord. Music, for better or worse, does a lot for a series beyond what the pictures on the screen or the words escaping our characters' mouths might tell us. It can set the mood or tone of a scene, increase our heart rates, bring the weight of the situation into full focus, or even bring us to tears. I bring this up with LR for a reason. It is a prime example of a series where the music does so much more work than the series could achieve on its own.
Yeah, okay. That's great and all, but can we get to the anime now?
Yeah, sure.
You sure you're done? I don't want to cut you off. Talk all day.
No, it's fine. Let's watch the anime.
All right. Head on down to the speakeasy and smoke 'em if you got 'em, lounge lizards. This is licensed by royalty.
Oh yeah.
So we start in the same rainy London as always, where... Okay, is that a breakfast roll on that guy's face?
Will we miss our flight?
Oh, you just leave everything up to me, sir.
No, you have a Cinnabon for a nose. I'm not leaving anything up to you. The old guy and the weirdly dressed woman get to their plane on time, but things are immediately bullshit. First, this.
You must be Mr. Freud. Welcome aboard the Aurora. You'll both be sharing the one stateroom?
Yes, we will, thank you.
Watch your step, please.
Are you convinced?
Convinced of what?
The woman.
Yes.
Then there's whatever this over-designed nonsense is. Quickly, everyone aboard the wooden cargo ship with the steel command tower held aloft by the double blimp and front-mounted sails. Jeez, Final Fantasy has more simplistic air travel than this thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is a beautiful piece of wondrous engineering and fantastic aeronautics.
Designed by Pablo Picasso.
Whatever, moving along. On board the ship, our two people immediately do what any sane person does on a flight, drink copious amounts of alcohol. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean the old dude drinks copious amounts of alcohol.
Are you sure you aren't celebrating prematurely, Professor?
Perhaps. Then this one's for our making it on board the airship in time. It's a wonder that we managed to arrive at the airport so quickly.
What? Are you serious? That is one of the flimsiest excuses for drinking I've heard in my entire life.
It's a wonder that we managed to arrive at the airport so quickly.
Yes, and next I'll drink to you being here, then I'll drink to me being here, then I think I'll raise a glass to our hostess, and lastly I'll drink to how fantastic this champagne is. Let us drink to drinking.
17 glasses later, our main characters deliver a letter to Old Man London River before meeting him in his room for a proper start to the show.
The Royal Museum's treasured artifact, the Mermaid's Foot?
How much do you already know?
Well, we've discovered that recently a large number of the Royal Museum's rarer pieces have been circulating outside the country. However, there have been no reported thefts from the museum. It seems these pieces are not genuine treasures and may be of dubious origin.
Thanks to Connor the First. Ishtar's economy was devastated during his reign. He spent recklessly on anything that was labeled a treasure.
Yeah, super interesting. Destabilized economies, museums, whatever. Where is the woman going? Earth to morons? Why aren't you paying any attention to her? She totally just snuck out and you two idiots are completely oblivious. Hello?
Professor!
What is it?
You need to come at once. In his room.
Okay, this is fine.
I just want to point out, this woman covertly leaves the room, sneaks off to God knows where, and then comes running back suspiciously screaming, "Oh my God, the guy died, we have no idea how!" What?
Linda, back to the room, quickly! They've gone out of the window! The mermaid's foot! It's gone!
And so none of you suspect the woman who covertly left the room and was suspiciously gone while the guy was being murdered, and who then pulled you out of the room and distracted you at the exact same time that the mermaid's foot was being conveniently stolen? What?
Okay, come on, lady. At least give us a semi-reasonable excuse to not be suspicious.
I left the room thinking that you and the Professor might prefer a more private conversation. I heard some sounds of distress coming from the deck below, so I went to see if I could help at all.
Yes, you heard sounds of a man being strangled and leisurely strolled down the stairs to see if maybe something might be the matter. Sounds legitimate.
But you know, the worth of anything is determined the moment someone declares it in a ringing authoritarian voice, be it only a stone, a scribble, or a piece of rubbish. After all, the thing is only worth what you're willing to pay for.
Alright, seriously with this guy? Does he not know when to quit?
Well, no. First he had to drink to the mermaid's foot being stolen, and now he has to drink to the guy being murdered. There really were two opportunities to drink there.
Someone call the captain! We're under attack!
Pirates!
Hurry, you two, we must get out of here.
Hold on, young man. First I have to slurp this whiskey off the table, and then suck the rest of it out of the carpet. Can't let it go to waste, ya? However, to the guy's credit, at least alcohol isn't more important than his own life, so the two run up onto the deck, where they could easily be shot. Whatever, it's time for some awesome.
I'm afraid you've tipped your hand, Professor.
What are you saying?
When Miss Linda came running back to get us, you and I hurried down to the room. But only you and I actually entered the room. Meanwhile, Miss Linda went back to your room, rigging the door so the window would burst open. She then ransacked the room before leaving it, making it appear as though you'd been burgled.
You heard on the grapevine that we suspected that some of the museum's treasures were being sold off to foreign buyers. It was only a matter of time before you fell under suspicion. How better to avoid that suspicion than to make it appear as though someone else had stolen a piece from you? The real buyer was you.
Excuse me, but this man is significantly lacking in the corncob pipe department. And where is his monocle? Does he read the instruction manual? I'm sorry, but I simply cannot take any of this poppycock seriously.
So our heroes finally introduce themselves properly as Jack Hoffner and Ro Rickenbacker. And then we get more bullshit.
You and Miss Linda seem to be very fond of each other. Or is there something else? Perhaps your own little treasure chest? It's really up to you.
Okay, no. I slowed this down, and lazy animation aside, there is no excuse for how a box pulled horizontally across her boobs still allowed for cleavage. Go back and try again.
Oh, whatever. Are you really gonna nitpick this?
Yes.
Okay. Well, while you're bitching over there, I'm gonna watch this awesome fight scene.
Fight scene? Whoa!
Come on, man. Do you see what I mean with this music? It's pitch perfect for this sequence. It's a lighthearted opening fight that we know our main characters aren't gonna lose, so rather than trying to poorly create all sorts of false tension, they make it more lighthearted and upbeat. And it's great!
Okay, hang on a second. This is cool and all, but I have to point out that Jack knows that Linda's boobs are actually smaller than they appear. But the only way he could know that is if he was spying on her. In the shower. Ew.
Gee, thanks, Captain Bringdown. So yeah, the fight ends and...
Chicken meat.
Well, that was an odd thing to say.
Maybe we didn't hear him right.
Okay, play it again.
Chicken meat.
Check and mate?
Chicken meat.
Chicken meat. Just chicken meat.
Chicken meat. Sure, why not?
You chose the wrong treasure this time, Professor.
And with the day one, the episode ends.
Well, that was pretty good. Let's see what...
Hey, Will!
What?
Do you know what these are?
Yeah, those are my steel cutouts.
Exactly. You know what you should do? You should take these and throw them in a sack. And then throw the sack over your shoulder and then go somewhere.
Why?
Because then you'd be hauling oats!
Okay.
Let me get you started. Here, you can have these ones. Put them in a sack. Throw it over your shoulder. Because then you'd be hauling oats!
So, seeing as the last episode was pretty interesting and relatively normal, we kicked this episode off with Hornet helicopters, a man with boomerang knives, the world's laziest animated cars, and a robot cat playing with a grenade.
Problem?
Cut to a shameless ripoff of Gremlins.
Wouldn't it be easier if you didn't have to wash your face in the morning?
Yes, of course it would.
Look at this. Look at this.
The bathroom buddy.
I'm not sure it's quite ready yet.
I'm working on that. I haven't finished that. I'm gonna get that tomorrow.
Okay, fine. That was stupid.
The woman takes a car-shaped game piece, touches it to a London Tower miniature on some game board thing, and it sends a transmission to Jack's car.
Oh, come on, dude. This is anime. It's gonna be weird sometimes. How do you not realize this by now?
Okay, yeah, I know. And I wouldn't care, except what the hell is all of this? We went from the weirdest thing being an airship to all of this unnecessarily complicated, convoluted, stupid nonsense. I mean, I'm just supposed to swallow that?
Yes.
So Fargason from Helsing tells our agents about this captured agent guy at Hornet Dundee's Legion of Doom lair, or something like it, while never not once closing his mouth. Fuck's sake.
Not only did he cleverly see through the smokescreen we'd laid down for him, but unfortunately Agent Moria was captured as well.
Well, I can only assume that his lap is now covered in drool. Anyway, we also apparently have a film critic in our midst with no sense of tact whatsoever.
These are the last images sent by the SP who was with Moria. He died sending them.
It's a bit short, And the resolution is terrible.
A man has died, you jackass. Did you miss that part?
These are the last images sent by the SP who was with Moria. He died sending them.
It's a bit short, and the resolution is terrible.
Yes, the cinematography is all wrong and the angles are absolutely terrible. So out of focus, too. I'd say his directorial debut was lackluster at best.
Thunder!
Just look at the stinger on her, would you?
Ro, this is hardly the time or the place for that sort of thing.
Well, her legs aren't as nice as yours, eh?
Oh, and how would you know that?
Oh, come on, give us a little look then, eh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong target. Thunder!
So after we see that the citizens of Ishtar read right to left because this is actually Japan...
I'm sorry, I think what you meant was they read single-word entries from the world's largest encyclopedia right to left.
Very true. Anyway, the LR crew leap immediately into action, but are captured shortly after immediately. Well, legitimately didn't see that one coming.
All right, let's make a deal.
We give you the information you need, and you release us.
Hey JT, guess what?
What's up?
You're fired. Get the fuck out.
What? Why?
No, I'm sorry. I just felt like betraying character for a second.
Oh.
But I'm totally serious. You are fired. Get the fuck out. Or I'll be forced to call the police. It's okay, dude. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Except I'm totally not. You're fired. Get the fuck out.
What the fuck are you doing? Stop!
Oh, maybe I would if the show didn't do the exact same thing.
It's at this point that I lost all track of what the hell was supposed to be going on. Apparently, the agent rolled over and gave up the intel he had on him. But that's only the beginning.
In my pocket, I have the written orders of the escort details for tomorrow's conference. If you care to take a look at it, you'll see that the information you thought was false is actually true.
Huh? No, it's a lie!
Hey, this looks like a real order.
The performance venue is unchanged. We'll play at Lake Bazaar.
At Lake Bazaar? But that means the information I had wasn't false after all.
All birds, change of target. We launch for Lake Bazaar. What the hell?
You get all that? I sure didn't.
Okay, so it's a double cross within a double cross within a double cross within a double cross within a double cross?
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but we can't go deeper. Bomb! 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 Shut up! Bomb!
But the most bizarre part is that none of this was even necessary. At all. The soldiers move in and capture Lord of the Bees and all his henchmen anyway, while the agent guy is arrested for working with him just like he would have been anyway. It wouldn't have mattered if Ro and Jack were locked up in the dungeon or in their stupid buoy submarine, and none of this confusing, convoluted tomfuckery accomplished anything aside from confusing us as well.
I mean, it's so silly and stupid, but that's actually what makes it kinda cool.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the music in this series is really...
Would you shut up about the music for just 1 second? I would definitely continue watching.
This show might not seem like anything spectacular or special to the average viewer, but I see it as a fantastic homage to the cheesy James Bond films of the 70s and 80s. And who doesn't love a good cheesy Bond movie? The villains have unnecessarily complicated plans with no clear win condition aside from evilly evils, and the good guys have all their ridiculous spy tech and super savvy to match. It's a show that revels in being not so serious and focuses on having fun along the way, which is really all I can ask for.
Absolutely, but this show wouldn't be nearly as upbeat or enjoyable without this fantastic soundtrack, which I will continue to bring up. Director Itsuro Kawasaki and producer Akihiro Kawamura were both huge fans of 60s and 70s rock, including the Beatles. Not only is this evident in the naming conventions of their characters, set pieces, and even vehicles, but it carried over into the soundtrack recorded for the series. Originally, they actually wanted to license the Beatles' music, but were swayed when informed of the multiple millions of dollars this would cost them bringing the series overseas. So instead, they did the next best thing. They recorded their own songs, heavily influenced by that classic British rock they loved so much. When it came time to step into the studio, they decided they'd have all English vocals for their soundtrack. Unfortunately, this doesn't always turn out so well when it comes from our Japanese friends. As you can tell, a lot of love went into the recording of the vocal side of this series, and it shows, even if its execution is far from fantastic. However, what could have been a mediocre series with a mundane soundtrack actually gets a big boost due to artful sound design and quality tunes. Heck, there's even a multi-episode story arc later on that revolves around a terrorist whose targets are directly referenced by a children's rhyming song. It's really, really cool, and I hope and pray that as anime evolves and grows as a format, we don't lose focus on the auditory arts.
You done ever?
Oh sure, like you've never gone on a rant before.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week on Cover by Cover. I'm Will Ryan.
And I'm JT Camp, reminding you at home, music is the lifeblood of everything.
Yes, we get it! Music is cool! Talk about something else already!
You know, the Epic of Gilgamesh is actually...
I'm out of here.
You know, the Epic of Gilgamesh is actually...
Darling, so there you